What's going on, everybody? This is your host for the Not Safe for Wrestling podcast, a.k.a. Blades, and I'm here at the cusp of WrestleMania weekend, of course, with my ever-prominent co-host, Obi. Go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
That music fucked you up, didn't it?
Oh, severely, but that's beside the point. Botchamania be damned. Go ahead, Obi.
What's up, guys? How you doing today? ObioneX2 here, and I'm tired of shit. That's all I got to say.
So, just to break kayfabe, Obi just kind of on the wake up, so we're gonna work with you guys here and give you guys a little bit of a breakdown. Let me just kind of get into the introduction that we all know. So, NSFW, of course, is the show where we talk about all things wrestling, WWE, TNA, Ring of Honor, New Japan Pro Wrestling. You know, of course, if you want to join us, you want to throw your 2 cents in, we'd love to hear from you guys, so feel free to do that. But, of course, this being WrestleMania weekend, this is going to be a very WWE exclusive show. They just came off TakeOver Dallas.
Which was exclusive in its own right.
Right. We've got the NXT TakeOver Dallas just ended. We've got WrestleMania coming up tomorrow. Of course, we've got to get our predictions in. We'll be doing that a little bit later. I mean, there's so much to really talk about. And, I mean, with our limited time, I think we've got a lot to jam into this show. Is there anything you really want to cover before we just kind of jump right at it?
I like cheese.
I like turtles.
No, man, I don't have any. Let's rock and roll.
All right. Well, going straight into it then. As everybody here knows, I'm sure if you listen to the Not Safe for Wrestling podcast, WrestleMania is the biggest night of the year. For any wrestling fan, it is the World Series, the Stanley Cup, the Super Bowl, all just rolled into one great big ball of testosterone man drama. And now diva drama as well. But it is going to be huge. There's been tons of coverage from lots of sources. And, of course, we just want to give you a little bit of our own opinion. So, hopefully you guys hang out.
You know, because we're full of it.
Oh, dude. We've got opinions for days.
Yeah, no shit, right?
So, starting out, I want to talk a little bit about NXT TakeOver Dallas. You know, the event just happened last night. Phenomenal event. I mean, not in the AJ Styles. No, it was an amazing event that occurred. What would you say your favorite match was, Obi? Like, was your
tag team match, dude?
100% tag team
American
match?
Alpha for the win, bro.
I mean, I was surprised. I thought they did really well, and of course, don't want to spoil it, but if you haven't seen it by now, go check it out on the network for just $9.99.
And you get WrestleMania for free.
And yeah, and you get WrestleMania for free, so you can just see where our predictions fall. But
and you can watch it with us.
Yeah. The tag team match was really good. Believe it or not, my favorite match out of this.
I like the Divas match though too.
That was mine. Asuka versus
Bailey, dude.
Really? Bailey. There we go. See, I was like, I kept wanting to say Becky, and I'm like,
really? Becky's on the main roster now, dude. It's Asuka, by the way. And I think his mic went out, guys. So but yeah, there
What?
he is.
My mic cutting out?
Yeah, yep. But the reason I like, and I'll talk a little bit about the tag team match that I like, why he fixes his stuff. The reason I like that tag team match, I don't really necessarily really agree where it was at on the card. You know, one of the first matches of the night. That should have been one of the last matches. Yes, I know. The women, the females, in NXT are actually main eventing it now, just to, and you guys can see it's been a long time coming, and it was it was put out there, you know, last year saying women are gonna main event, and they do a great job. But I just think that the maybe the tag team championship should have been second to last, or even more the middle of the card. But the women's championship was epic. It was. There was a few mishaps, and you could tell where their inexperience kind of got the better of them. But that was a really good match. It really was.
I mean, what about that crazy flying head scissors, though? That was insane.
Dude, she was doing some stuff like I could honestly see, and this is coming from, how we are. We analyze everything that we see in the ring. But from that standpoint, Asuka fucked up so many times. I mean, just really, literally fucked up.
I mean, it's still not Sin Cara,
Well, I'm
It's
not
not
saying
complete
that.
botchamania, but there were some botches. There were some light, and maybe one or two really heavy botches.
Like,
But the,
did you see the botch where the tag team match where they tried to do their double, where they did the elbow off the top rope when he was holding him up, and then what's his name? He actually went down. He let go of the sit up, and they missed it.
yeah,
They botched that freaking. You heard the crowd. You botched a move. I mean, I was like, what? They're blowing
yeah.
these guys up, dude. And they were
I,
he was just sitting there staring at them like, yeah, I know I did. Fuck him.
yeah, like right away, the crowd will jump on that with either the "you fucked up" or the botchamania chants.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what it was. Yeah, you fucked up. I
yeah,
was
I
like,
mean,
damn,
it's
dude.
it's automatic. There's "you fucked up," "you fucked up."
Mm-hmm.
Old ECW habits die hard, man. As much as they want to go PG, you can't control the crowd, buddy. You fuck up, and the intelligent wrestling fan, they'll call you on it. We know these things. We can see a botch for days. We'll tell you, way to go. I mean, at your level, we expect more.
Yeah, I mean, NXT, I can see, and this is just my personal opinion on how I feel about NXT. NXT is where you want to botch. No offense, I don't want to say you want to do it on TV, because I'm telling you right now, the promoter back there, or the damn, what's his name? Whoever's the runner, the guy that's in charge of TV.
Regal and Triple H.
No, it's somebody in the background. It's one of the old wrestlers that's actually in charge. Regal is the face man. Triple H is the CEO of WWE. It's actually Regal's the face man of NXT,
Mm-hmm.
but there's another guy running the show. I just can't remember his name, but he was probably back there going, "What the fuck is that?" Like, you want to get on the main card and have matches like that? There's no way in hell.
Yeah, it happens.
Spoiler
But
alert! Spoiler alert! But American Alpha won anyway.
All right. So, was there anything that you think really caught you off guard, or was there an outcome you really didn't expect?
Not really. I kind of had it as soon as the match was up. There was parts of NXT where I didn't even watch it. I watched it full through, but there was parts where when the match just started getting really boring, I just started skipping ahead. Really. It was to the point where it was starting to get boring for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, I can't lie. I was really expecting Samoa Joe to take the title off Finn Balor.
I was too, actually.
But Yeah, spoiler alert here. When Finn Balor retained, that was one of those moments that just really caught me off. I was like, wow, like you have a talent like Samoa Joe. You've given a lot of the other indie guys the push, and you kept the strap on Finn Balor. Now, that says a lot about NXT's confidence in Finn Balor, which I mean is deserved. You know, the coup de grace is amazing, and he's one of those kind of. He doesn't have the botches like you really see, but I really thought they were going to have him kind of give the title up to Joe and maybe start a main card push for him, especially in the lieu of the injuries they've had and things like that. I thought they might be pushing to get Finn Balor moved up quicker, but it looks like he's going to be there to stay for a little while longer.
I don't see him. I see him up at the main roster by June. That's just my opinion. Yes, I do believe that he probably should have passed it on last night for that main push. Because you think about it. I mean, Sami Zayn, just you say his name.
Yeah.
Homeboy was freaking hurt. I mean, he was hurt. Like, his shoulder was ripped to shreds.
Yeah.
He did his rehab. He did everything he needed to do. He was in the performance center 24/7. Every single day, working with the new guys. I mean, he even had a match with the new guy from Japan last night.
Right, and that was a great match. That was kind of his farewell, right?
It was his farewell because he was, and everybody thank you, and all this, and he waved goodbye. And I just don't think that should have been his farewell. I really, honestly, and truly think that his farewell match should have been somebody else. I kind of agree with him losing, but I don't. You know what I mean?
I mean, I like that he kind of went out like almost like a veteran. You know, he gives the push to the new kid coming in while he's on his way up to the big leagues. He gives that push to this, that over.
The professionalism that I can't remember his name either.
And I can't really say the new guy.
Well, he's been in it for 20 years almost.
Well, right.
Well, no, 15. He's only 23.
He was another one of the large acquisitions that came out of New Japan. Nasuke Sakamura was one of the big. I'm sure I just butchered the name, but again,
you're close.
My thinking is just not there today. But he was the big acquisition with AJ Styles. So I mean, to give that push directly in NXT to be like, hey, you deserve this. Go make your run. The world's in front of you. Sami Zayn kind of giving that push was huge.
Mm-hmm. Could you have seen? Here's a question for you.
Okay.
Could you have seen him wrestling anyone else for that push? Effective push.
No, not really.
Okay.
Just because Finn Balor's the champion, he doesn't need a push. Samoa Joe, everybody knows him. He doesn't need a push. Like, Corbin is probably about to come up to the main roster. It wouldn't shock me to, I'll save that for the WrestleMania predictions. But it wouldn't surprise me to see him in the big show real soon. So I can't think of anyone who needs that push. I mean,
no. You missed my question. The guy who Sami Zayn, Sakamura. Mm-hmm. I probably said his name fucking all weird up.
Right.
And we apologize for that. We're not trying to mispronounce, but
yeah.
Could there have been another wrestler besides Zayn that could have
to give him that push?
To give Sakamura that push that he got last, because he got a big push. He did get a good big push. First time NXT debut, and he beats Sami Zayn. I mean that's one of the Sami Zayn's one of the he's one of the I want to say icons, but he's one of the icons of NXT now. He's one of the guys that helped build NXT to where it's at.
That's one of the reasons I don't think you could find a bigger guy to send him over. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like when you go and you look at it, you go to the established guys, and no one I think is really more established in that space than Sami Zayn at the moment. I think it was perfect. Like it was a great passing of the torch. New guy in, old veteran out. Not really old guy. I can't say old guy. Sami Zayn's still younger than me, but the veteran
Sooner than both of
NXT
us.
out, and the new guy to NXT in. It was a good passing of the torch. I think it was handled really well.
Mm.
But anyway, that's as far as NXT, takeover. Make sure you guys check it out. If you didn't get a chance to see it, watch it today. Let it kind of help fill that anxiety gap leading up to WrestleMania. I think it'll be good. Now, one other thing I want to talk about before we get over to Mania is this New Day face turn that we've been seeing. I know we went into it a little bit last week, and they've developed it even more, and I'm really excited for it.
Speak
So
on it.
I kind of want to get your opinion. Like I know that right now they've got the Bootios, the cereal box that's got the shirt inside, and fans are just going nuts over that. And then when they took it from in the ring to over Twitter, like when Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston start tweeting at Rusev and Sheamus, and it kind of gave a whole nother platform. Like it brought the social media aspect into the WWE, which they've had a really hard time fusing that. I mean, granted, they live tweet stuff happening on Raw, but there hasn't really been that kayfabe brought over to the social media near as much. Not that fans were actively following until this New Day League of Nations Twitter beef, if you will.
I bet Vince right now is sitting there laughing his ass off because New Day is doing everything you're supposed to do to get noticed. To I guess you could say a good word is to piss people off. Okay, because they're on TV, they're making their shit every single day, doing their dance, shaking their ass, throwing their bootios out, and talking shit about other people on social media.
I mean, but that's them. Like it's.
Oh,
so,
I'm not saying it's bad. It's great.
Yeah. I think it's terrific to see how they've developed it, considering they were their own little entity and no one really believed in them, and then they've transformed it and they've developed it into like their own brand. It's amazing how well they've done with it,
Right. And
it's really impressive.
well, no, I'm not saying that. I really think New Day is one of the up and coming, and I want to say up and coming. They're the tag team champs, but I want to say that they're one of the up and coming groups to totally dominate the tag team scene. Yes, there is another group with the League of Nations and stuff like that. There's another group forming. You see a lot of Survivor Series matches starting to come about. You could say Survivor Series, New Day versus, anything can happen. Of course.
I mean, there's a ton of factions right now between your New Day, League of Nations, Social Outcasts, freaking. There's just groups popping up like weeds.
Mm.
Of course, the Wyatt family is always something you can't mention. Three, stables without mentioning the Wyatt family.
You got the Uso family too.
Yeah.
And when I say Uso family, this is the Usos, Dean, and Roman.
And Roman.
That's the Uso family now. It's good because that you think about it and you look at it and like, okay, that's another 4-man group. They could have a 3-way tag team Survivor Series style. But then you think you got Roman and Dean, they're in the spotlight. They can't be taken out of the spotlight just to do a tag team match.
I mean, it's going to be interesting because, like, one of the things I've said it before, and I would love to see it. though I don't know how they're going to handle it. If Seth Rollins came back as some kind of babyface, and we saw this Seth Rollins kind of reuniting with the Shield, I mean, that's a 5-man Survivor Series team there. The Shield plus the Usos.
I just don't think. I just
I
do
know.
not think, because you think that in storyline, man. You think about it in storyline. What good?
But him being out for this long, there's tons of room to play with.
Yeah, but what? I mean, you got to think about the other two. Like, you know, do we really want to team back up with him? And yeah, it could be planned that way, or it could be, you know, anything can happen in WWE. But to the normal fan, to the fan like you and I, do we really want to see Seth Rollins teaming back up with the Shield? Not really.
I do.
Why?
I absolutely do.
Why?
Dude, the Shield, easily one of the most dominant groups, right? Easily.
But with the way the way that Seth Rollins took his stand against his quote unquote brothers,
right?
Okay,
well, I'm not saying it's going to be the same Shield.
Beat the living hell out of him with a shield or with a chair, and then it's like everything that Roman and Dean are fighting for right now. He went with the Authority. I don't know. I mean, it's a possibility.
It's a long stretch. I get it. I think it'd be amazing if they could pull it off. That's all I'm really saying about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, as going back to the New Day, I think League of Nations was probably the perfect faction to put the New Day over. Like, if you could think of any group to really put the New Day over, I think only the League of Nations could have done it.
What is TWD?
Hmm?
Yogi said in chat, by the way, TWD Season 6 finale is tomorrow night. Unfortunate scheduling for the WWE. I want to watch it, though, Arg. They have 2 or 3 showings, don't they? Yes, Yogi, they do. And you could, but the whole experience is for us to watch it together. Watch it as a group and then comment on it like that. But do whatever you want, man. It's TWD. I mean, be DVRing that shit.
Yeah, I'll catch The Walking Dead later.
Yeah, I'll watch it afterwards.
The live event, like that's the season.
That's like the Super Bowl to wrestling, man.
It really is.
There was a comment made last night on NXT Takeover Dallas, and I forgot who said it, but the only thing that he was saying is, "This is the Super Bowl for NXT. This is the WrestleMania for NXT." So wait, you have a WrestleMania every month?
Right.
Like Takeover is every single month. Or well, almost every. It was like every 2 months or something like that. They have a Takeover, and that's their WrestleMania. Got it. So you're devaluing WrestleMania. There you go. That'll work.
Right. Brilliant. But speaking of WrestleMania, let's move forward yet again. I think it's time we talk WrestleMania. I mean, we knew it's going to take most of the show. Let's start with predictions and theory craft. So let's see, what's the least cared about match? At least two.
I can't read that. I did.
That's fine. Total Divas versus Bad and Blonde.
I'm going with Total Divas.
Total Divas?
Mm-hmm.
This is, again, like, the reason I started here is this is, I believe, a pre-show match.
Yes. Pre-show matches are as followed. The Total Divas, the Usos and Dudley Boys are a pre-show match.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's one. I think then it's the Andre the Giant battle royal.
Oh, really? The battle royal? No, they can't do the battle royal as a pre-show.
I think it's gonna be like half. Like it's gonna start. The battle royal is gonna start in the pre-show, but then come over into unless they, of course, scheduling changes probably last minute.
Right.
But as the first match, Total Divas versus Bad and Blonde. I'm going to go with Total Divas. Reasons
Okay.
why. On the Total Divas, I have to get to this. This is yeah, give me a second here. Go ahead with yours because I have to get onto the website here. Guys, sorry, I'm half asleep still. I literally woke up 5 minutes before we started the show. So, my bad. Go ahead.
So when I'm looking at this, I feel like Team Bad overall just hasn't gotten any real push, which is kind of disappointing because, I mean, granted, they don't have Sasha Banks anymore, but, you know, Naomi and Tamina just kind of got thrown away on it, and that's annoying. At the same time, they have Eva Marie. Or no, sorry, Eva Marie's on
Total Divas.
the Total Divas side. So, I mean, I can't cheer for Eva Marie. I can't. At the same time, it's WrestleMania, and they might want to give like that Brie Bella, you know, WrestleMania moment, and of course Paige is there. Yeah, it's probably gonna be the Total Divas. I have to agree.
All right, so
Uh,
I'll take over here. I'm thinking the Total Divas. Yes, nobody likes freaking redhead. Nobody likes red. That's just how it is. The whole thing that they've been trying to do, and I've been watching Total Divas too, and the whole, you know, if you've been watching Total Divas, you know about the little alliance with Red and not the big one. I can't remember names. Fuck. Sorry, guys. But nobody likes her. I don't know why. Maybe because she's an arrogant bitch. Maybe just because she's on Total Divas and she's hot as fuck. I don't know. I have no problem with her. Yes, the whole chance of you can't wrestle, I agree with that. But on the other hand, she has been busting her ass every day in the performance center. So she's trying to get better. But I really think that like you said, Brie Bella, I mean, she's the front woman of it. I think she's going to get a push. You got to think about Team Bad. Naomi, I really disagree with kind of leaving her high and dry because she's not in any picture right now. But yeah. I think that's kind of planned because she's actually with her sister. I say her sister, but her sister-in-law or whatever. Yeah. And then you got to think about you have Lana, which isn't even a fucking wrestler. First of all, she's a freaking manager.
Well, okay.
She can wrestle. She knows how to wrestle.
Yeah, I was like, but she's been a wrestler previously.
She
used
can
to wrestle in Atlanta all the time.
Right, I understand that. She can wrestle. She knows how. But Lana, I'm seeing this right now. Lana is going to be that team's downfall. Red's going to be the other team's downfall. It's going to be a 4-on-4 with two coaches, dude. I'm just saying. The other thing, they've actually brought up Emma from NXT, which is a really good choice. I like that because she's got that reputation of just being she loses her temper, somebody's getting a freaking broken rib or some pulled out hair.
I mean, it annoys me because I feel like Emma's going to take a loss on her first real match from being pulled up, but
I don't. I think just her being there or being, let's put it this way, being back on the main roster. She's worked her ass off to get back here. Yeah. Because you remember a year ago she was on the main roster.
But are they going to push her?
Probably not. It's probably a fill spot. I mean, you could have had Dana White, you could have had Dana, I forgot her name. I'm so bad with names, sorry guys. You could have had any of the bad girls on NXT.
Yeah.
Come up there. I mean, you could have had what's her name that works with Bailey or that is in cahoots with Eva, the big Samoan.
Yeah, Tamina.
Yeah, no, not Tamina. The other one, the one in NXT.
Oh yeah.
You could have had her come up and be on Team Bad.
Yeah.
But then again, that would have kind of had that rivalry because Eva's in with her. You know, I don't know.
I don't know.
I like the other dark match.
Usos Dudleys.
The U.S. Championship's not going to be a dark match. I can tell you that right now. I don't think there is another dark match, dude. Because I think WrestleMania is like 4 hours, 3.5 hours long.
All right, so I mean, what's your prediction though for Usos Dudleys?
Usos, because are you writing all these down for the points?
No.
Okay. I'm gonna go with Usos, just because it's time for them to get another push. It really is. Dudley boys, I'm sorry, Devon. I'm sorry, Bubba, but it's something to where since that heel turn, or since that, I think they were already kind of heels anyway, but since that huge turn of we're not doing tables anymore, you guys don't, tell us what we're doing. We're the legendary tag team of wrestling, not even just WWE. I mean, they really didn't tag team much over in TNA, but it was the whole thing of like, oh, we're big, we're bad, we're back, we're Dudleyville. Who cares, man? You guys are washed up.
Oh man, I've got to disagree. I'm going Dudleys for this one.
Yeah, this is where you lose.
I mean, we all know I have bad pull on the pre-show, but I think the Dudleys, since they've gotten this heel turn, they haven't been pushed at all, and that's just a mistake. You want to give them some kind of push. You have to give them a push here against the Usos. Like, the Usos don't need any more push. Like, the Usos are over. Them beating the Dudleys won't further them anymore, but the Dudleys beating the Usos will cement them as a heel, especially if they go really heelish without pulling out the tables, but just some kind of heely means like using the ropes as leverage, or the tights or something. They have to. I think the Dudleys have to take this.
Okay. I don't really see pushing anybody out of these two teams is really going to affect much, because one the Dudley Boys have gotten a push. I can't say they have gotten a little push since they went heel, because they won almost every match they played in since they win that, or they wrestled in since they win that.
What was the last pay-per-view they won?
It doesn't matter. It's WrestleMania. Usos are coming back. I don't know. We'll be divided. It's fine.
I mean, yeah, it's the pre-show. I gotta give it to the Dudleys.
Okay.
All right.
And you guys can watch this pre-show. I can tell you guys can watch the pre-show on USA Network. The pre-show is over there. It is going to be something new they're doing. I don't know why. Maybe it's because of the 10 million plus subscribers of the WWE Network. I don't know. Which is only $9.99 a month. But you guys can watch that on USA Network. And then the pre-show for WrestleMania will pop over. It'll be on the network. And then WrestleMania will be on the network. So you guys can watch that too.
Mm-hmm. All right. So here's the big one. Let's just get this out of the way now. The hardest one to predict in the whole thing. Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
I'm going right on a limb here, dude. And we're going to call it, the Raw pre-show bold predictions.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with a two-time winner. I'm going to go with he's going to win it for the second time. Consecutive second time. Big Show.
Is that your shucky ducky quack quack?
Good.
Lock in.
Good. Yes. It's my good pick.
So.
Sorry. Booker T says it so much better.
Right?
Good.
I'm looking at the list, and I noticed there's not 20 names.
Yes.
Did you notice that?
They got 2 or 3 surprises.
Right. There's Heath Slater, Curtis Axel, Adam Rose, basically all the social outcasts. Big Show Kane, Tyler Breeze, Mark Henry, Swagger, Fandango, Damian Sandow, Darren Young, Connor, Victor, Goldust, R-Truth. Now, I'm gonna say this right now. Like, he's not my choice to win. But if he does, I think that the entire Titus O'Neil thing was a shoot. If Darren Young wins this thing, the whole suspension is a shoot at that point. They're pretty much going to tip their hand. But here's the thing, because not everybody is listed, there's been a rumor floating around, and the last time I went off of a rumor floating around,
You were right.
I was right. I won the Royal Rumble prediction there, which put me points ahead. So I'm debating if I want
fucking
to,
points ahead. I
Hey,
just want to let you guys know that.
I've actually
been winning these past however many weeks since January. But since he got the WrestleMania prediction, which was a 10-point thing, he's now 2 points ahead.
That's right,
motherfucker. Go ahead.
I'm debating if I go out on a limb with this one.
I want to see this little ass limb you're gonna throw out, because this is about to fucking break.
Corbin.
Ooh.
There's a big talk about this being the event where Corbin moves up from NXT to WWE, and the Lone Wolf could win the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Oh, damn you, dude! Son of a, you're a dick. I mentioned
I would bring up Corbin again a little bit later during WrestleMania predictions. This is where it was.
Yeah, I could see that happening. You think they're done with him and Aries right now, though? You think him and Double A are done down in NXT, or is he going to drop back down to finish that bout?
If they bring him up here, I think they'll handle it like they did Kevin Owens, you know? Bring him up to the main card with a little unfinished business down in NXT, and then use it to also hype for the next takeover where they'll settle the whole thing.
Well, Corbin beat the hell out of Double A. A-double. Yeah. So, just saying. Not saying A-double, which that's his nickname, or that's how they say it. It's Austin Aries. But I don't see him beating Corbin ever. I just don't. The way the writers and the way everything is, the way the Vince is, I just don't see. I just don't see it. Because Austin Aries was one of those grabs from New Japan. Again, he's one of those grabs from New Japan, been all over the world. First debut match with Corbin and gets his ass kicked. So is he just going to be another fall man?
No, I don't think they're going to keep him as a jobber.
Because you watched TNA too. You watched all this stuff when Austin Aries was just out of his mind. Out of his mind good. You know, beating everybody. And you know, he wrestled Kurt Angle and beat him. He had his little spout with the Dudley Boys, or with Bubba when he was over there, because it was a whole, Bubba had his own faction and everything there, but he had it in with everybody, and he was beating everybody.
With the big Who Is Suicide reveal, and then it's Austin Aries who cashes in the X Division title for the title shot.
Which now that's a thing. You know, if you win that, you get the chance to go straight to the X Division title. I mean, that's.
But
can't wait, man. And that's once a year.
See. Yeah, we're gonna see. It's gonna be a thing. I gotta go with Corbin. I got to. So that's the limb, and now watch, you won't even be in it. So this will be your chance to catch up.
So are we going? Are we doing any multiplaners on this one?
Oh yeah, no, definitely.
Okay.
Based on where your person is eliminated.
Oh damn.
Because they all start in the ring at the same time. There's no delayed entrance. They all start. All 20 men start in the ring.
Because that's what we did with the Battle Royal.
The Royal Rumble was
Or the Royal
where
Rumble.
your person was eliminated.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna do the same thing here.
Okay.
So if he's not even in it, I'm gonna get 0 points, and you have a chance to really pull ahead.
So the winner. So if Big Show's the last, I get 30 points. How many points is it? It's
20.
20 points then.
20. It's 20-man battle royal.
All right. So this is the time, guys, where I can come up and take the lead. Now, you guys are asking us, and I'm sure somebody's asking us. We'll get right back to this in a second. We're going to talk about points for a second. This is a point system that we started in January.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Every pre-show that we've actually, had and we've actually talked about, and there's going to be more shows now because we're not doing it just once a month now, which is awesome. But we get 1 point per match, and then on bigger matches, like the Royal Rumble, we had wherever your guy went out. I mean, Fatal got, a whole bunch. I think he got
the full 30.
The full yeah. Yeah, this is wrong then. It's 47 to 49 then. My bad. But and then it's going to be the same thing. So right now, as we're speaking, it's 47 to 49. Fatal's beating me by 2 points. Now, at the end of the year, in December, guys, and we're going to do a show about this. We're going to, because we're going to do our last show of the year and whatnot. But at the end of the year, we're going to rack up all these points. And the winner is going to get just like a small gift card. I think, what did we say, 25?
Something like that.
It's like a $25 gift card to, it might be to Xbox Live or it might be to just whatever. But we're going to get the winner gets a $25 gift card to their choice. How's that? So you guys stay tuned. If you guys want to get in on these, you guys can. And, maybe help us out a little bit, do whatever you need to do. I think Yogi was going to join at one point today. So I told him about watching WrestleMania with us tonight. Or yes,
tomorrow night.
Yeah. Tomorrow. But back on the matches. That's what's happening with the points, guys. If you guys want to get in on this or even donate something to the winner, hey, we'd love to have it. Excuse me.
All right, let's go through a couple of the really fast, easy calls. AJ Styles versus Chris Jericho. I'll lead it out if you want. 100% AJ Styles wins.
Agree.
For fans who don't know, I'll just give a quick breakdown why. Jericho's leaving the company after Mania. He only really showed up to fill in for injuries. And it's a perfect opportunity to set AJ Styles over even farther than he already is. That's pretty much all I got. You got anything to add or move to the next one?
No, that's basically in a nutshell. Which, in my opinion, AJ doesn't need a push over. He's already over. He's already over and up the next hill. Excuse me. But yeah, just filling in, and he came in to help with injuries and because he's still technically on tour.
Yeah, Fozzy is still doing a thing right now.
They're still doing stuff and dates and everything. So he's got to get back to his band and his tour and everything. So, which is okay. We're not going to fault him. Chris Jericho gave us years. He gave us over a decade worth of good, wholesome Y2J.
I'm going to put it to you like this. Chris Jericho comes back into the ring, shows up week after week after week, which is more than The Rock did. I said it. And so if he has to leave to go do his side, that's cool. He's got his band, that's fine. The Rock goes and shoots movies and every month or 3 months or 6 months shows up for one show.
Do you hear you got a
short blurb?
Do you hear you got arrested in Australia?
No.
Yeah, Rock got arrested in Australia. It was great. We'll talk about that in a little bit, guys.
All right, so the next obvious one, New Day League of Nations. Note, it's not for the title.
Yeah. I think this is going to be a stretch. It is. because nobody likes these goddamn unicorns except for the fans. I'm gonna go with New Day on a technicality. Okay. I'm gonna go New Day, and how they're gonna win is by disqualification. Because it's 3-on-3, right?
No, 3-on-4.
Okay. I'm gonna go with New Day, man. They're gonna somehow pull it. I mean, yes, it's 3-on-4, but some of the innovative offense and things that the New Day can come up with and do, and they do this shit every single week. You know, I mean, yes, a lot of the moves and stuff are rehearsed and whatnot, but they come up with this offense every single week. I think they can pull it out.
I have to go New Day as well. I just think that
I just didn't. If I was going to be wrong, I hope you picked the wrong one too. Set up the points, man.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I don't think that the League of Nations. I don't think anyone cares about the League of Nations, honestly. The New Day has kind of set their own path. They've got hype. They're selling merchandise. They're doing everything you want out of a team in your company. I cannot see why you would think about pushing League of Nations at WrestleMania whatsoever. Hands down, I think the New Day has to take it, beat the odds, maybe setting up for like a Dudley's versus New Day or something like that, for the title, or maybe like League of Nations, New Day, Dudley's, Usos, Fatal 4-Way for the title at the next pay-per-view. But I think the New Day has to retain here because they're too good for business. They are literally what is best for business right now. You can't get rid of them. Can't have them take that L. Unless you're really going to build for something larger, I don't think you can have them take that L.
They're definitely going to retain because it's not for the title. So, yeah.
I mean, that's the way I look at it.
Isn't it? Is it for the title?
No, it's not for the title. There's no title on the line. I almost wanted to say League of Nations because there's no title on the line, but I don't think you can do the New Day like that. Like they need that momentum. They got to keep it rolling. Fans got to keep going with them.
Well, I honestly think too, if the New Day do win, like you said, it's a really fine line with them right now. Just saying because the New Day, I honestly think if they lose right now, they're going to lose all momentum to, even though they'll still have the championship, they're going to lose all momentum. So then the next fight that they get into, maybe they banter back and forth and go, man, that was your fault. No, that was your fault. You and that stupid horn. Maybe they start fighting against each other. And then maybe the next pay-per-view, they could always, of course, then lose the titles because they were fighting or something.
I mean,
that power of positivity just went to shit.
I don't want to see infighting because that's usually the mark of death for a faction. If you remember, the Shield had their infights before Seth Rollins turned on everyone. Infighting is the mark of death. Like, we could see infighting among the League of Nations because Barrett is going to be leaving. Wade Barrett's contract is running up in like June, and I don't believe he's renewing. So
now what my sources say.
I mean, that's what I've been led to understand is Barrett will not be renewing in June. He will be leaving the company. So the League of Nations will be down a member.
Why?
I mean, he's been doing
no sense.
He's been doing this for a while, and they're not giving him any kind of solid push. Last thing they gave him was King of the Ring, and even that's kind of just gone stale now, I could see why he'd leave it.
Quitter's a quitter, dude. It's okay.
But, yeah, I think, he's earned it. He
ain't earned shit, dude.
Oh, whatever.
He ain't earned nothing. What has he done? Oh, I led NXT Nexus into the WWE and we took over. Not really. You really didn't lead it.
The Nexus angle was really solid.
It was, but not, I mean...
Bad News Barrett, solid angle. There's still people who are like, I'm afraid I've got some bad news. And they repeatedly killed his angles. Like, even when he was pulling off some of the most ridiculous angles, the King Barrett angle, it wasn't the greatest, angle you give a guy, but he ran with it and he did it. And I feel like he got one of the worst pushes off of a King of the Ring that any King of the Ring winner has gotten.
True.
It didn't lead to titles or storyline. It led to let us put you in the League of Nations with Sheamus, Rusev, and fucking Alberto Del Rio. Like, get out of here. That's terrible.
And they're all name play. The one thing I don't like about League of Nations, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, is they're all named players. Okay, you look at Kofi Kingston. He really doesn't have anything that define, like, you know who he is if you say his name.
Mm-hmm.
A Big E doesn't have a subtitle name. Xavier Woods doesn't have one of those subtitle names like you do Bad News Barrett, which is King Barrett now. He has that name. Sheamus, which is the Irish dick. You have Alberto Del Rio, Mexican's greatest import or export, and then you have the Brute or whatever his little nickname is.
The Bulgarian Bruiser.
The Bulgarian Bruiser. I mean, and think about that, and open your mind a little bit, guys, for those that are thinking about this and listening to me. If you think about all that, you have 4 named players on one team. Okay, they're all freaking vicious. We've all seen it from all of them. Honestly, do you think they can work that long together? No. Come on. Everybody's going to want spot. You realize that there's 3 people on the New Day. And when they talk, they say we. All 3 of them. We are tag team champions, all 3 of us.
Yeah.
Yes, who won the tag team championships? Big E and Kofi. Are they carrying Xavier Woods? Yes. If that could somehow come out as an angle, like, you guys are really, you guys are really carrying Xavier everywhere because he hasn't won a goddamn thing. He's never wrestled for the titles. You know what I mean? The only time last time that he did wrestle with Big E, they lost.
In fairness, it was a sham.
They still lost.
No, they won by disqualification, but they won.
Yeah, that bullshit. Fucking technicalities, right? Is that what
I'm
you're
just
rolling
saying.
on? Is that what you're rolling on today?
Absolutely.
You should be ashamed of yourself.
Hey, it's a win. A win is a win.
I'm not playing Xbox with you today.
Whatever. I got faith in the unicorns.
But
Power
I am
positivity.
But I'm gonna take.
I'm positive that was a win.
I'm not playing Xbox with you today. I'm going to borrow your team, though, so they can come carry me in this free XP weekend. Thanks. No,
right,
I don't need to borrow your team. I just need Zed.
All right, so let's move to the next match. I think is it's not an easy match to call, but it's not a match I care so much about. Kalisto and Ryback.
This is why.
All right.
Despite them giving him the championship and running it off, they needed somebody for, the championship to go to for a couple months. A lot of people, before Kalisto had won it, there was lots of buzz saying, Kalisto needs to do something solo. Even though he was part of the Luchadors. When Sin Cara got hurt, and he was out for like 6 to 7 weeks, you got to think about it. They're like, what do we do with Kalisto? He's just this little guy let's give him the freaking U.S. championship. And then that'll give Ryback or that'll give any other big guy the ammo to say, you're just a little guy. I'm going to whoop your ass just because. And then he's defended it against Alberto Del Rio. Was it? Yeah, Yeah. No. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alberto Del Rio, and then he's come up and he's still kept it. Even now, Sin Cara's back, mind you. Have you seen that since Sin Cara's back, they haven't been wrestling at all? Hardly. They've had like one match. Sin Cara's had more solo matches than they've had tag team matches. So
Yeah,
I
I mean,
honestly think Ryback's gonna come in here, manhandle him. He's gonna do a lot of his fucking awesome, cool shit. Maybe the Salito del Sol and Ryback kick out, and they come up with a a some just hell. I'll even put it on the line. Ryback come out with a new move tonight. I don't know. I just don't see him winning versus somebody that stiff. I don't.
So I really want to say that they let Kalisto carry it through and win this.
No,
I
Ryback
want
needs
to.
his WrestleMania moment. And even if Kalisto loses, that's still his WrestleMania moment. He's a tag team guy, man.
Yeah, but his tag team partner is the Lord of the Botch. How long will it be before he screws up again and goes on the shelf for another 6 months? And Kalisto's sitting there going, "So what am I doing?" And they're like, "Well, we're not pushing you. You're just basically waiting for your partner to get back."
I see him pull another Rey Mysterio.
I mean, that's where they have him right now. This feels to me like a literal Rey Mysterio rehashing. When Rey Mysterio won the world title and everyone said, "You're not big enough. You're not that big strong
But he
guy who
really didn't
carries the
have
belt."
but he really didn't have a team. Like yeah, I understand where they're going with this because of the King of the Botch, aka
Sin Cara.
Sin Cara. And we've all seen it. He's botched so many moves, and hell, he hurt himself because of a botched move. He almost hurt. He almost dropped Ryback on his head. I mean, yes, Sin Cara is a lot bigger than he was when he first debuted in WWE. Like he's almost twice the size, dude. Like he was just as tall or as tall as he is now, but he was more on the size and smallness of where Kalisto was at. Homeboy's gotten huge. But the lack of focus from Sin Cara, the lack of I don't know if it's focus or you're just I don't know what you're doing. But as much as they talk about safety in the WWE and in NXT, because I watch a lot of the behind the scenes background stuff with the which unfortunately is not on the WWE network. I can't tell you where it's at, but um but a lot of the stuff with NXT and the performance center and stuff like that. And like, if you botch a move there, or if you fuck up a move there, and it's one of those high intensity moves, like if you think about it, guys, Selena Del Sol. What happens when Kalisto does a Selena Del Sol? He's in front of his opponent. His opponent then lifts him up. He jumps up over the head and does maybe like a backflip. His opponent then basically has his neck cradled by Kalisto, and basically just falls straight back onto his back. That's the Selena Del Sol right there. So if Kalisto does everything right, does the perfect flip, cradles the neck, comes down on his elbow or his arm, and making sure that his opponent is safe, but he does a so powerful move that the crowd just blares, that's a perfectly done move. What happens if Kalisto drops and doesn't grab around the guy's neck to save, to help his neck? And homeboy breaks his neck. I give it, it's one of those things. Safety is a must in this business. I just don't. I really, I don't know. I, I see Kalisto going for if they're gonna, do something with Sin Cara, do it. And if he's out later in years, I could see him going back for the champion, maybe the Intercontinental Champion, maybe the freaking title, dude, the World Heavyweight Championship. Why not?
I mean, maybe. I just think you have to let Kalisto run a little while longer, at least with this.
We'll see.
Make sure Sin Cara is not going to shelf himself again. And because it really doesn't hurt them. It's not like Lucha Dragons are in the tag team title scene right now, you know? They're
Right.
just not. So, I mean, you I think you keep the strap on Kalisto at least a little while longer.
Right.
You've built all this hype about, versing Ryback. I think you have to. That's just me though.
Well, I just think Ryback should win it here at WrestleMania. Even if they have a rematch on Raw and SmackDown, and maybe there's something that happens to Ryback, he gets distracted and he wins it back, or something like that. But they had the WrestleMania moment, even if it was for a week or a month or whatever. I don't know. I just feel like Ryback needs his WrestleMania moment, dude. He really does. For being as stiff as he is, and willing to do what it takes to get there. Yes, he's probably getting pissed off at the whole process, but what athlete isn't pissed off about the whole process?
Yeah.
You got to think about some of these indie guys that come up, that have been wrestling for years. And I'm talking like Dean Ambrose. I'm talking, some of the ladies, Kevin Owens. I'm not talking about the old guys, Zack Ryder. These guys that have been in the indie scene or have been in with WWE or for their tenure, and they're not getting their pushes. They're all getting pissed.
I mean, yeah.
But you can only push so many people at once. Do I think that, and then I'm gonna stop after this, but do I think there needs to be more belts? Yes. That's it.
That's fair. All right, so let's go. Let's start looking at the big matches now. Hardest one, I think, to call: Intercontinental Championship. KO versus Sami Zayn versus Dolph Ziggler versus Zack Ryder versus Sin Cara versus The Miz versus Stardust. Who do you like?
I'm gonna let you go first, bro.
All right. So, if I'm going first here,
I have the guy who I'm gonna pick. My mouse is on him right now. How's that?
I've got to say, as far as the Intercontinental Championship goes, I think they have to put it on Dolph Ziggler. And here's my reasoning. Everyone would want to see Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens fight it out, but they want that to be a one-on-one match. You can preserve that for another pay-per-view. It doesn't have to have a title to make it any more hype. It's already a really well-built match.
Okay.
There's been this very large, Dolph Ziggler getting pushed down by the Authority and pushed down by the Authority and pushed down by the Authority, and having to do everything in his power to earn his way into this match.
Uh-huh.
I think that putting a title onto Dolph Ziggler makes sense at this time. Now, I would love to see Zack Ryder get one. Sin Cara, if he got one, it makes sense for Kalisto and Sin Cara to each have their own titles. But again, I don't think you can trust Sin Cara on this, honestly, just because Sin Cara's gonna get hurt. You can't give him a title. The Miz, it really doesn't wrestle much anymore. All he's really doing is Miz TV. And Stardust has been kind of non-existent as of late. We've seen him in the match, but he's got no real story, no real driving force. I think you could give the title to Ziggler and see where it goes from there. I think that is probably the best option I could imagine them doing.
All right. You guys are gonna hate me for this, and I'm probably gonna regret it after I say it. But I am going. My mouse, was on the man in the background, Zack Ryder. I just am, dude, because I've been watching and paying attention to Zack Ryder really closely. Yes, I understand. I totally agree with Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. It needs to be a one-on-one match. It needs to be something that they can just get down and dirty with. And Sami Zayn can just go off and beat his ass because he's already scared of him. Stardust, I honestly think Stardust is going to find himself somehow here in the future and go back to Cody Rhodes. I'm just saying. Dolph Ziggler, Hmm. I'll get back to him. Sin Cara, of course, we already know him as King of Botch Mania. And it is at WrestleMania, even though he's had multiple chances to get back in the line of things, he still botches shit every time. Miz, I could see Miz winning it and rubbing it up, but that whole I'm better than you people and now I'm the champ and angle is just totally used up. I'm sorry. I wish he would get a new gimmick or go make movies or something because Miz is just pissing me off more than anything. Zack Ryder, just because with the push that he's been getting, and like I said, I've been watching him for the last couple months, and they've been down in NXT, and he's doing with Mojo Riley. Which, if you don't know who Mojo Riley is, go watch NXT footage. This is one of the most energetic, exciting guys I have watched in a long time, and it's raw. It's raw energy. And that rubbing off on Zack Ryder, now Zack Ryder's got that bad boy. He don't care no more. He's still doing his woo woo woo, but with a little fuck you on top of it. Like, I like this Zack Ryder. I honestly and truly think even if he stays quiet or gets his ass kicked tonight, I think he's going to be going forward anyway. Because, I mean, he's back up. He's at WrestleMania. He's close to being back on the main roster. But then also they're trying other things in NXT to where he's teaming with somebody. Which I don't know if that's, making the changes back and forth might hurt him. But I think he's going to win tomorrow. Bold predictions.
I mean, yeah, that's gutsy. I can't lie. I would love to see it. Like, I wouldn't even be mad losing points if Zack Ryder wins it. I can't even be fresh. That'd be too good.
The one and only, first time, every time, internet champ, Zack Ryder.
Right? Like, it would be amazing. We'll see how it plays out. But we both pretty much agree Kevin Owens is not going to retain this thing.
No, I don't really think so.
All right. Like, that was my backup. That was my secondary. I was like, man, he could. This could be where Kevin Owens just shocks him. But I don't think him and the Sami Zayn match needs any more hype. So, yeah.
Or Kevin Owens retains it, and then Sami Zayn goes one-on-one with him.
Yeah,
something.
but I feel like that's a wasted opportunity on the WWE's part.
They could have already done it.
They might do it.
They could have already done it, though, too. So
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm going with Zack Ryder, man. 100%.
All right. So let's go to this crazy mess. All right. The Divas Championship. Charlotte versus Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. Who do you like?
And I'm first on this one, ain't I?
Oh, yeah, because I covered the Intercontinental first, so you only have half the people to worry about.
Well, you got the next one.
Okay.
If it's straight up from this website, you got the next one.
Okay. I mean, I've already made that prediction. We all know how I feel about that, but good.
I don't know. I'm going to have to... I honestly don't believe Charlotte's going to retain. I don't... man. I really want Becky Lynch to take it. This is just what I want, not what's probably going to happen. I really want Becky Lynch to take it just because with the push she's getting lately, you look at with NXT and what's her name, Bayley losing the title. Could there be some kind of 4 horsewomen up here type thing? But that's in the future. I don't know. I'm going for Becky, man. Even though I think Sasha Banks is going to take it, but I'm going for Becky. I'm going to lose points on this, but I don't care. I really like the redhead, fiery, Irish or Scottish, whatever I think she's Scottish, right? That fire. I mean, just that meanness. Like in its own right. People don't like Sheamus. I love Sheamus. Just because that raw, I'm about to fuck you up moment,
Yeah.
She has that. I don't know.
I've got to say Sasha Banks.
That's what I thought you were gonna say.
I have to.
Damn it.
I don't think Charlotte needs to retain here. I think there's tons of other stuff they could do with her. But Sasha Banks, former NXT women's, you know, dominating their league, like that her credentials are too good. She works as a face or a heel. It doesn't really matter. There's too much opportunity. I think you put the belt on Sasha. Charlotte gets a rematch, whenever, but everyone would love to see the Sasha Banks Charlotte one-on-one. So I gotta say Sasha Banks probably takes it here. Maybe we see Charlotte hit her rematch clause for the next pay-per-view. But yeah, I gotta go with Sasha Banks.
Okay. I'm like I said, I just and every fan, and I will say this to everybody because you guys all know it. To every fan that watches WWE, we all think we know what's best for business. But with like what I just said, we'll see. That's all.
All right, so I've got the next one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so Shane O'Mac versus The Undertaker. I think we know this. I've been saying it from the top, from the beginning. I've been making this prediction. I think the last 3 shows, and the bonus prediction on our special exclusive to the Geeky Antics Network. Shane McMahon has to win this. They've been doing hype, and I know it's kind of a face versus face, which is awesome, I think, because it gives it kind of that WrestleMania 6 feel when Hogan took on the Ultimate Warrior. Neither of them were a heel, but there was a ton of just hype and suspense built up behind it. And it's in Hell in a Cell. Like, I think Shane McMahon is going to win this by way of The Undertaker. I think The Undertaker is going to put Shane out, lay Shane out, and can just easily pin him 1, 2, 3. But Vince McMahon, for whatever reason, will be at ringside, yelling at The Undertaker, telling him, pin him, do as I tell you, I'm your boss, yada, 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 blah, blah, blah. Just screaming at The Undertaker. And then The Undertaker lays down, puts Shane's arm over him. 1, 2, 3. The Undertaker goes out on his term, just kind of a big old middle finger to Vince. Shane McMahon wins, gets control of Raw. We start seeing a lot more develop out of that. If The Undertaker wins it and Shane McMahon just goes away, I feel like they've wasted one of the largest opportunities that they've been given. So it has to go to Shane McMahon.
And Vince knows that, though.
Yeah, it has to go to Shane McMahon, 100%.
I'm going with the same. I not because I'm siding. I think we guys, to be honest with you, myself, Fatal and myself, we've actually talked about this a lot. Like whenever we're playing Xbox, we're playing, Battlefield, or not Battlefield, we're playing Black Ops 3 and we're just chilling out, pugging out, we're just destroying kids. And I'm like, what do you think about this? Wow, man, I don't know. And we'll get so up in the talk, but yeah, Shane McMahon's got to win it because there's like we said in previous conversations, there's so many ways that the WWE can go from here. Where a brand split, you have Shane McMahon running the shit now, where it kind of pushes Stephanie and Hunter to SmackDown. So then they're going to give SmackDown this giant push and say, you know what, screw you, we're taking this and we're going to run it with it and do this, and this. And just having, like you said, it would just a really good W, because they have to do something here soon. If they don't, I honestly think somebody's going to be in trouble in creative.
Well, see, I think this also gives a really good opportunity to do something that you mentioned earlier. If you split the brand you can bring in more titles. SmackDown and Raw exclusive titles, like, back in the day when SmackDown had the Cruiserweight title, or, and Raw had the light heavyweight, or like the US champ goes over here and the Intercontinental champion, well, they go over here, and you can kind of maneuver it so that belts are specific to brand. And the number one thing I want to see him bring back out of that would be the draft. I used to love watching the draft.
Well, they probably will.
Like, it was huge, and I hope they bring that back. If that is the direction I would love to see.
Something we can only hope for.
All right, here we go. Now, these last two are going to take us a while because there's a lot of theory crafting and a lot of discussion to be had about them.
Mm-hmm.
But seeing as how I covered Shane versus Undertaker, Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar is all yours, buddy.
All right. Let's see here. Dean Ambrose, Brock Lesnar. Look at the show notes. I sent you a message. Dean Ambrose versus Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar has been beating this guy's ass for the last couple weeks now on Raw and SmackDown. I've been watching it just because of this. I fast forward through them just so I can watch Brock Lesnar and Dean Ambrose pick a fight with each other. I'm going Dean Ambrose. This is why. Over the last several weeks, there have been and there's a guy that is one of the kings of doing harm to himself to make people happy. He was on the a Stone Cold podcast here this past week, Mick Foley. When a guy like Mick Foley gives you one of his prized possessions in the WWE hardcore era or the Attitude Era, and give you one of his prized possessions that he literally used or on himself sometimes too, but he gives you a bat, and on that bat it's wrapped with barbed wire, and then you get, who is it, Hacksaw?
No. And don't forget, by the way, it also has a nickname. It's Barbie.
Yes.
But no, Chainsaw Charlie,
and
a.k.a.
then,
Terry Funk.
Yes, and then you get another hardcore legend. Here, listen what I'm saying, guys.
Those two are like the fathers of hardcore as far as that goes.
Terry Funk comes up and says, I want you to have this. And what happens? It's a fucking chainsaw. Terry's chainsaw.
Chainsaw Charlie's.
Chainsaw Charlie's chainsaw. Well, you know what I mean.
I know. I'm a stickler for that persona. I love that persona.
Right. Well, it's to the point where he's gotten things from hardcore legends, and now he's getting ready to go in one of the hardcore's most infamous fighting scene or battleground, which is the no holds barred, everything goes match. Come on, you can use whatever you want. Yes, Brock Lesnar can use whatever he wants too. I just think Dean Ambrose is crazy enough to beat Brock Lesnar's ass. Dean Ambrose.
All right. So I can't argue. I have to agree. I think it's got to be Dean Ambrose. Like I said, I've been a fan of him. CZW, CWL. He was nuts. He's insane. King of the Death Match. You're gonna put him in a no holds barred street fight. Regardless, I'm calling it now. I'm gonna say match of the night will be Dean Ambrose, Brock Lesnar. As long as Brock Lesnar can stamina out that match, it is gonna be nuts. It is gonna be huge. You will hear the crowd explode. I expect to hear, holy shit chants and ECW chants. This is awesome chants all the way through that whole match.
Mm-hmm.
I expect it to just be phenomenal. I gotta go with you. Dean Ambrose has to pull that off because, Brock Lesnar, he's had the WrestleMania moment. He ended the streak. there's nothing to be gained from Brock Lesnar beating Dean Ambrose here. Brock Lesnar, if Dean Ambrose beats Brock Lesnar in a no-holds-barred street fight, that's huge. It's massive. It's a push that Dean Ambrose definitely could use to propel him even farther than he is. Brock doesn't need that, and very easily at any given time we could see the Wyatt family interference in Dean Ambrose versus Brock or Shane versus Taker. Because notice oddly enough, none of them are slotted on the card.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to feel there's going to be some Wyatt family shenanigans here somewhere. But no, I think Dean Ambrose has to take it. Dean Ambrose, by a mile, freaking nuts, tons of weapons, and for all we know, maybe even a legend comes out and helps Dean Ambrose. I mean, think about it. This is in Dallas, Texas. It wouldn't surprise me to see like a Stone Cold Steve Austin come down to the ring and just stunner Brock Lesnar.
That'd be cool.
To give Dean Ambrose the win. We've seen all these legends helping Dean. What if Austin comes down to the ring, after the whole exchange between... Because a lot of people forgot that back on the Stone Cold podcast a while back when Paul Heyman was there was an exchange of who wins the fight, Brock Lesnar and Steve Austin. And everyone thought that was hyping to something, and that just kind of disappeared. Just vanished a little bit.
So you think you can beat me, you son of a bitch? Here you go. Boom!
Right, exactly. He comes out and he's like, by the way, remember when Paul said you were going to beat me? Thanks, kick, stunner. I think it could be phenomenal. It could be amazing. I think it'd be a great WrestleMania moment. Another legend coming out in support of Dean Ambrose. It could be huge. So now we go to the big one.
It's all you, big boy.
Main event. Sort of, because I think the match is actually probably going to be pretty crap. Triple H versus Roman Reigns. And...
Why do you think that's going to be crap?
Okay. Look at the matches that are going to be in front of it. You've got Shane McMahon, Undertaker, Hell in a Cell. You've got Dean Ambrose, Brock Lesnar street fight. And then Triple H versus Roman Reigns in a normal match.
For the title.
Yeah,
I think they should have did a stipulation match, too. But what are you going to do?
They should have either done, with all the attacks and everything going back and forth, it wouldn't have been bad to see something like Triple H, Roman Reigns, Last Man Standing.
Yeah.
Or, something like that. But right here, it's just, if they act like they've been anything leading up to the event, it'll be 30 seconds in, we'll see a big fat disqualification. Because Roman Reigns won't listen to a ref. He'll just pummel the shit out of Triple H, or Triple H will get Roman Reigns jumped. Honestly, Triple H, Roman Reigns... Wow, sorry, I just had a crazy thought. And I'll go back to that after I cover this. I'm going to say... Roman Reigns wins. That pained me. Did you hear how hurt that was to say? Yeah, Roman Reigns to win. Possibly disqualification or something, but Roman Reigns to win. I don't know. This is the first time I really don't care about the championship match going into this. With the Dean Ambrose and the under, yeah, I'll say Roman Reigns wins. No, you know what? I won't say that. You've gone out on a limb a few times, right? I'm going out on a limb on this one. Triple H wins. That's it. Triple H wins. Triple H retains against Roman Reigns. God, I'm gonna regret saying that. All right. What do you think, Obi? All right, I guess we'll just take a second there. So, yeah, I gotta put Triple H on it. It sounds crazy, but if the brand split occurs and we see Triple H uh going to SmackDown, maybe this would be a good reason for him to bring the belt there and put another kind of championship belt into Raw. But Triple H beating Roman Reigns, although fans will hate it, that could be that moment that just kind of throws everything off.
Right. Sorry, my mic went off crazy, but I'm going with straight up. I'm going with Triple H. I'm going with Roman Reigns, and this is why. If we think about it, we just said it here a few minutes ago. We were talking about Shane O'Mac versus Undertaker. Shane wins because Undertaker wants to say, "Fuck you, Vince. I'm done." Blah blah blah. I'm not your puppet, because it's all been leading up to that, right? So then it can't win. He can't win. Even if he goes to SmackDown, he won't take the belt with him, but he'll get a champion that will be able to take the belt back and bring it back to SmackDown. That'll be the leading up to next year's WrestleMania or some shit like that. I'm going Roman Reigns.
All right. So I know we're kind of limited on time, but we all know I have one crackpot theory. One crazy, off the wall, ridiculous conspiracy theory, usually one per show. And I haven't come up with one yet. But I think I'm about to give you my conspiracy theory for this show. Are you ready?
Sure.
I'm going to change my thoughts on Shane McMahon Undertaker.
Oh my god. Okay.
Shane McMahon versus Undertaker. I'm keeping who I think's going to win. Still think Shane McMahon wins, but not because the Undertaker takes the fall and puts Shane over him. What about another appearance of Sting? Sting costs Undertaker, setting up for Sting Undertaker WrestleMania 33.
Yeah, but after this one, if he loses, he's fired.
According to Vince, if he loses, he won't get another WrestleMania. But Vince will not be in control of that. Shane will be if he wins.
I like it.
Shane McMahon, so potentially the match is going on. Undertaker starts to get the best of it. Shane's already gone coast to coast. He's tried everything. Undertaker, tombstone. All of a sudden, lights go out on the Undertaker. Completely black arena. You hear the crows. Standing in the corner of Hell in a Cell, pointing the bat at the Undertaker is Sting. By the time the Undertaker realizes what's happening, boom, bat to the stomach, bat across the back. Sting picks him up, scorpion death drop, pulls Shane across him, and while the referee counts the 3, points the bat at Vince McMahon. Same way he kind of does to Triple H when he screwed him over at Survivor Series. Just kind of a I did this because you keep screwing up the company.
You should be getting a job in Connecticut.
Right? That'd be amazing. I'd love to. But that's going to be my out there prediction. He's going to just point the bat at Vince. And then when Vince is waiting for him to open the cell, lights go black, crow noises hit, Sting's gone.
Wow. Yeah.
He's like, after I let you into the Hall of Fame, the promos write themselves for the next few nights. Vince is like, I let him into the Hall of Fame and he screwed me. That's how he repaid me, yada, yada. But we'll see how it plays out. There's tons of time. Only time will tell, but we will find out tomorrow, WrestleMania. Feel free, make sure you watch it. Get the network, only $9.99. But I think we're about to have to wrap up here. So, Obi, if you'd like to let the people know where they can find you.
Definitely can. And guys, I'm everywhere. ObioneX2. That's ObioneX2. It sounds like Obi or looks like ObioneX. That's right spelling. You guys, come check me out. We're on Xbox Live. ObioneX2. We're playing a lot of Xbox, guys. We're racking it up right now. Of course, Twitch.tv, Twitter, YouTube coming up. We got some new YouTube projects that we're getting ready to do, and be releasing here very soon. And lots of news coming up. So, guys, come check me out. As of from here, I'll see you guys tomorrow at WrestleMania.
All right, guys, and of course, you know me, your boy a.k.a. Blades, F8tl Blades on Twitch TV, F8tl Blades, all one word on Twitter, and on Xbox. Actually, it's a little bit different. It's IQ Space Freak Show. But make sure you guys come and check us out. It was great having y'all here. Hopefully the predictions come true, but we will definitely see you guys around WrestleMania. Take it easy. Peace.
Later. Hey guys, this is ObioneX2 with NSFW and geekantics.net. We do want to make sure that you guys know that even though there's a storyline to professional wrestling, it is still dangerous. Make sure you guys don't try this at home. We'll see you guys here tomorrow and a couple weeks from now. Peace.